All right, y'all, back again. This is a weird one. This is what I'm gonna call a blackout classroom video. We're gonna combine the two. Y'all really can't see me. It's almost like one of those silhouette challenges and shit. You know, like hey, I just read. We're gonna start something, do a whole new kind of silhouette challenge. But anyway, um, look, man, I want to talk about this game tonight against the Pacers and shit. Um, you know, really, truthfully, we should stomp this team, but it's not going to be easy. Like they don't have Vic. When they get Karis LeVert back, next year they'll be a whole lot stronger. But Malcolm Brogdon know how to play. Miles Turner know how to play. Holiday brothers know how to play. They still got some parts here and there that definitely know how to play the game of basketball. Um, so it's not going to be easy. Ooh, excuse me. It's not going to be easy, but I think this is a game where we should get the best out of Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, and to a lesser extent Lonzo Ball. I think they got enough people that they could cover Lonzo pretty decently, but um, I'm trying to remember the coach name for the Pacers. I don't think it's Nate McMillan anymore. I think they hired somebody else. But their coach up there is pretty solid. Um, So I don't think he's going to let Lonzo just get easy shots anyway. I think they're going to cover all their bases. I haven't watched the Pacers since Vic got traded, so I'm not really sure what to expect from them. Um, Look, if going off of the last game went to OT, and they barely beat us. Right, we were fully healthy, and they barely beat us, and they had Vic. Um, and we just couldn't stop their shots late game. I think we were just worn out. Um, So this game should be a lot better for us, I think. Um, I think Lonzo is gonna have. I don't think he's gonna get 18 points this game. I think he's gonna be somewhere around that 14-point range. I just don't see him taking a bunch of shots this game. We'll see. They were playing differently the first time he was there, and Lonzo was out there hooping. But we'll see. Um, I don't really. I know this is gonna be like a man. This ain't much one of your better synopsises. It's really not. Um, Honestly, I think I'm a little. What's the word I'm looking for here? And you guys probably can relate. I think I'm a little mentally drained here. I'm just kind of like, yo, if y'all gonna trade Lonzo, let's get him up out of here. So I'm not trying to be too emotionally involved with Pelicans games because I know he's not going to be there long term. So it's just like I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, they lost. I'm upset. You know, my Mavs are getting their ass kicked too right now, but we got COVID protocols that's tearing our asses up and injuries and stuff here and there. So it's been a bad year for us. But with the Pelicans, like I said, I'm not really interested in being that emotionally invested in a team that's for the trade, my favorite player. So, I'm like, come on, let's go ahead and switch him out so I can go to the team I need to go to, and then be a part of that fan base. Uh, but yeah, I know that's kind of bandwagony almost if you think about it. Like, oh, my favorite player, go here. But uh, I don't think there's an issue fan, being a fan of a player, of a team, and watching wherever they go. But anyway, the LeBron fans, that's all they do. Um, but yeah, man, um, I think the Pelicans are gonna win this game. It's probably gonna be one of those like 115 or 102 type games ish. And an interesting stat came out. When Lonzo scores more than like 15 points a game, the Pelicans are like 5-1. Um, and the other stat that I saw was when they held their opponents to less than 110 points a game, they're undefeated. They have not lost. So I think there's a correlation here between the defensive intensity of the Pels uh, and Lonzo Ball. The only way the Pels are going to win consistently at a high level is if they run in a way that And what I mean is run is I mean run an offense. So if they run an offense in a way that takes the most advantage of what Lonzo Ball can do, um, and the stats, the record bears that out. If he scores more than 15 points a game and you only lose one game, you're like 5-1 over a 6 game stretch. That's got to tell you something, man. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna do for you guys later is I'm gonna go back and look because this is game 21 and game 18 for Zoe. I'm gonna go back and look at last year's stats and see how many times he scored more than, because I think he's averaging 12 right now. I'm gonna see how many times he scored more than 12 by this point in the game. Matter of fact, I'll probably do that and make that video tonight too, and I'll put that out for you guys, just to get that information out there. But obviously his scoring average now was higher than it was at this time last year, but I just want to see where it is in terms of his overall skill level. And I think we could credit or attribute some of that to his offseason work. What's the guy's name? I think his name is KOP on Twitter. Yo, shouts out to that dude, man. He got, every time I turn around every week, he's got new updated stats for Lonzo Ball to track like his metrics and where he is, his improvement and stuff. The dude is doing like fantastic fucking work. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel. I might have to hit him up on private and ask him that. But yo, if he do, shout outs to that brother. That brother do straight work for all the Lonzo fans out there and stuff like that. And he does his part in helping to like overdo the Pels media narrative about Zoe. Um, that's where I think I got that stat that he was number 18 in the league in mid range field goal percentage, which is like, damn, top 20, top 20 out of over 400 players, like that's elite, but well, let me not say elite because field goal percentage don't necessarily make you elite, but that's an elite company if you're in the top 20 players of something in this league. Like you're in an elite company. So that stands a lot. This is his first year actually getting those reps and doing this stuff in game. So I can only imagine what he's going to look like in 4 years when he's 27 years old in the peak of his prime and his powers. And he's able to confidently go in and say, okay, this is my shot, and get that shot every game. Which is why I'm looking forward to peak Lonzo. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm not trying to be too emotionally invested in this team while I know he's not going to be here. You know, um, it doesn't make much sense to me. Like, oh, the Pels lost, I'm angry. I'd be happy for Lonzo when he succeeds because hey, when he succeeds, the team succeeds. The stats bear that out. But I put it like this, man. Lonzo, I would have rather had this Lonzo on the Lakers right now because he would be getting appreciated in a way that he's not with the Pels. I would have much rather he started out on the Pels and then went to the Lakers because when you're in those big markets and your team is winning a lot, like your players start getting like value and shine. I know that the Lakers got a lot of people calling about KCP and stuff like that, and THT and all these other guys. Imagine if Lonzo was playing this defense on the Lakers. Imagine if he was playing this defense, like let's say if he was on the Lakers last year, let's say the trade was in reverse somehow, and he went to the Lakers, and he's there with LeBron and AD, and last year he's playing the defense that he was playing. He might have gotten an all defensive team. If he's there this year, Lonzo would be front runner for an all defensive team. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's part of what happened with Bledsoe. Giannis and the Bucks, as always, have the best regular season record. But, well, let me take the butt out of that. They have the best regular season record, and so they start looking, you get more nationally televised games, they start looking at you more, and then your defense is on display. So the voters get to actually focus and key in on you in certain matchups, and then they get to watch you, and that is what elevates your status in the league, which is why these nationally televised games are great for Zoe. And if when he's showing up, it's going to help his case when they're like, damn, all these matchups Zoe is winning every single time. It's it's amazing. But anyway, at the end of the day, like most of us Zoe fans. I think we just want him, what's best for him in his career. I see a lot of people that make these bullshit ass remarks like, okay, why is it that every time he goes to a team, they not built around him properly and he don't have the right weapons and all this other stuff. It's like they don't. Not necessarily. His first year in LA, nobody too much complained other than with the minutes with Luke Walton, and how they rotated him in and out. But outside of that, we all thought he was pretty solid his first year. 10, 7, and 7 as a rookie. Even KD talked about, how hard it is to get 10, 7, and 7 in the league. You know, hell, KD, his like career average is 27, 7, and 5, right? He can't even get 7 assists for his career. You know what I'm saying? And you might be like, well, he still give you like 27 some points. Look, man, I want to hear that shit. Like double figures and 7-7. Like you got to understand, elite stats in assists and rebounds is different than it is in points. If you were to get like anywhere between that 7 to double figure range is elite or upper level in the league, right? That it's as far as those like rebounding, steals, passing, and stuff like that. Blocks is one of those other stats where it's not that high. You get like 2 blocks a game, almost 3. You're like elite level, maybe all time great level blocking. You know what I'm saying? But also, this stuff varies by position. You expect your guards to have more passing stats. You know what I'm saying? You don't, if you're big and you can pass like Jokic, who's leading the league in passing or assists, it's like, wow, that's crazy. That's amazing. First of all, double digit assist period is amazing. But when it's coming from your big, that's like that's I can't verbalize how incredible that is. So, obviously he's having a down year, but that's the role. He's in. He's not meant to be the primary passer. Primary ball handler, yes. Get them into their actions, yes. But let's talk about that for a minute. He's actually been a very solid floor general this year. Let me get ready to turn my computer on because I actually need to be clocking in and shit. Um, he's been a very good floor general this year. I've been impressed with his leadership on offense, taking over and positioning players and getting them where they need to be. We started to see some of that emerging last year, but not to this extent. This year, he has been on point with getting these guys into their sets so that they can run their offense. I think because especially recently, he's been doing it a lot more. I think it's partly why their offense has been a lot more consistent. It's had a much bigger flow. When you have Brandon Ingram running point guard, he doesn't direct the traffic as well as Zoe. Yes, he can put guys in position, but I don't think he puts guys in a position to where Zoe is. Zoe is, I think, Bi is still thinking like 1 or 2 moves ahead, where Zoe is probably thinking 5. So if Zoe tells someone to get to a certain location or locale, like even okay, I'll give you this, and this is the difference between Nall and Lonzo. Lonzo, I've seen players where Lonzo realizes where the play is going. He's off ball. He's playing 3 and D role. He's off ball. He sees where Bi is and where the pick is coming. He's going to go and move to the opposite side of court to provide the spacing that he needs. I've seen situations where you got Kira, and this less to Kira because Kira's a rookie. He's barely played any games, so I don't expect him to know this necessarily. Even though Lonzo kind of understood this his first year in, which, again, this is a testament of how high his IQ is. Stuff that doesn't get talked about a lot. It doesn't get noticed a lot. But Lonzo will go and reposition himself to the opposite side of the court to provide the necessary spacing that BI needs to work with and to give him an option to kick out to. I've seen Na and Kira stack up on the same side and they'll sit there and basically put like, okay, let's pretend BI's at the top of the key. He's getting a pick. Steven Adams is coming around here, so BI's going to go right with the pick, but then you got No, Kira, and whoever else the fuck, Bledsoe they may have out here, right? This is the part that pisses me off about Bledsoe. I'll give credit to JJ for this. JJ will actually start telling guys, hey, move. Kira and Na will stay here, which will allow them to slow up BI, get him out of his rhythm and his position, add another defender here, and now you got him having to deal with their defenders, plus the big, plus his defender, which is why he's got all of this nonsense that he has to deal with. He can't get effective shots. And so then it's like, okay, who is he supposed to kick out to? The entire team is on one side of the court. Lonzo is smart enough to be like, okay, the pick and roll is coming to this side, BI's coming to my side. Lonzo will go ahead and relocate to the opposite side. Now you got more space, and they can't clamp up and get into BI, and it'll help his field goal position or the percentage. This is like little things that Lonzo does that helps out. And when people sit here and try to talk about now a lot of people are starting to come down on now. Some of the fair people are starting to come down on now. Because I remember there's a lot like Zoe better get back or he's gonna lose his job and everything. And now it's like, well, now can't take his position. It's like he's not scoring better. He's not shooting better than Lonzo. He's getting 20 plus minutes a game. So, it's not like you can't say he's not getting in the rhythm or playing enough minutes. He just simply is not better. And Lonzo is not only giving you double figures in scoring, he's also giving you assists, rebounds, and elite level defense. So you can't justify, and this is going back to my video the other day, you cannot justify playing Null in front of Zoe. You just can't. The only way you're going to get in all those minutes, you have to either get rid of Bledsoe or you have to get rid of Zoe. That's it. That's the only way you could justify playing him because they're not on the roster. And if you got to remove these guys to play another guy, they may not be good enough yet. But again, that also depends on your situation too. If you're trying to rebuild, you're going to want to, I don't know, this blue screen stuff is throwing me off. It's going to, if you're a building team, you're going to want to do that because it's important to get those guys reps and experience against NBA teams and rosters and stuff like that. But when you're trying to win games, and I think this is the one thing, this is the dynamic that people are going to have to focus on too. Stan's trying to win games. Like, a lot of us had issue with Gentry last year in his rotations. Stan ain't with that shit. If you've watched Stan this year, Stan has been quick to pull the plug. How much of Hernan Gomez did he have to see for him to start getting rotation minutes and put Jackson on the bench? How long would Gentry have played Jackson Hayes before he would have played Hernan Gomez? You know what I'm saying? See, these are the things that separate coaches. And again, like I said, I don't think Gentry is a bad coach. I've never thought that Gentry was a bad coach. I just don't think he was the coach to get this team where they needed to be. Having said that, though, I got to be honest with you, man. Like, I like that Stan does not play that shit. If you don't play well and somebody else comes in and they do a good job, he will put you on the bench. He's not playing favorites. Obviously he has his two guys, beyond Zion, because they're the core of the team. But if you don't play, you don't show up to play, look, man, I ain't got no problem putting you on the bench. I mean, hell, look what has happened. JJ was riding bench for 3 games, but part of that, I think, was because of trades and then the trades fell through. But he wasn't hitting, and he gave those minutes to Kira. He gave some of those minutes to Nall. He's shortened the rotation. He's not playing a whole bunch of guys. He's tried to give Melly some minutes, and then he's taking Melly out. Melly made one crucial mistake. He was like, nope, get him out. Stan don't play that. That's why I kind of like some of those old school coaches too, because they sit there, they playing like the young guys. It makes sense. If you're an older guy, y'all gotta remember Melly's like 30-something years old. You can't be doing that. I don't care if you've been in the NBA or another league, you can't be doing that. There's certain mistakes you can't make. But I know I kind of went left, and this kind of went from a synopsis to a ramble. I ain't really want to do the synopsis anyway, so we're going to work with it. But anyway, that's really all I got to talk about. Look, like I said, I can't really tell you guys or express the happiness that'll be in my being when Lonzo is on whatever other team he's on. You know, uh, but hey, I hope he come out and drop another 18, 20 something points, and he start putting the team and the league on notice. They're like, look, y'all better start taking me serious, because I want that MIP. I'm going to get my numbers, and I'm going to go to a team, if the Pels don't want me, that is going to take me on and believe in me, and is going to make me the guy, or let me be the guy that I'm supposed to be. So that's all I got. Y'all have a good one. Peace.